in this competition. Thanks to influences, it's my ambition. Also envision my path so I complete the mission. Yeah, I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest, regardless of all the pain and the stress. Yeah, I'll say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. Yes.
Welcome to the last sip. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's right, folks. I want to wish a happy early Father's Day to all the fathers and grandpas out there. Another applause right now, y'all, folks. I want to thank y'all for tuning to the last sip. It's a special edition. It's the Father's Day edition, so I want to thank you for tuning in. Also, the song, Tribe Vibes by Untitled. Well, before I get started, I want to thank you for tuning in on Facebook at Ontario Hill, Blue Verified Checkmark. Also on YouTube at Motivational Muscle, Muscle spelled MUZCLE 74. That's right, y'all. Hey, check it out. Season 2, you guys, I'm loving you all. I got more followers, more views on YouTube. You guys are kicking it in. Thank you. Before we get started, as we do always, you know I do not spill the tea. I do keep a kettle with me, but right now we're going to take the last sip. Agua. Man, delicious, man. Delicious, delicious, delicious. I got a pretty good show today. Now, today, before I get started, I'm going to let you know that the things I'm speaking on are not something, they're not things that are backed by others' opinions. Everything I spit today on the last sip is my own commentary on how I feel about these situations. So if you're sensitive or you got something you want to say, you're more than welcome to call the BrewLine, 501-259-6788. The line's always open. I will always take a phone call. I don't mind. If you want to add something to the conversation, want to speak to the people out there, or you got something that's worth saying, give me a holler. Only 3 rules I have is number 1, watch the profanity. Number 2, be respectful for the other people listening. And number 3, bring something to the conversation. Well, let's get applause and let's get this show on the road. My first topic is job monopoly. Now, as I say, I will prerequisite anything I'm saying by letting you know that this is my own take and commentary on it. Okay, now, I think sometimes that the media and the government gets us at each other because of the way things are handled. And we might accuse certain people, certain races, certain sex, certain demographics of people, so forth and so on, because we are busy hearing the rhetoric from the government or the rhetoric people are putting in our ear, the words they're saying. Well, here's my theory on some of the job situation. They got us so at each other's neck about who's getting the jobs that we don't have or why jobs are being taken away and they're being shipped overseas. Well, y'all got to start being more aware of what's going on in your own area instead of what they'll tell you is going on, because they do that sleight of hand thing. I've told you that before. They'll tell you one thing here, but they'll be doing something else over there. So here's one of the things I know that goes on. And like I said, this is just me doing what I do. Have you ever noticed that jobs come up missing? Like you might have a job making cars or a job making metals or a job making wood items or something like that. And all of a sudden the job just gets taken away. The plant's still there, but the job ain't there no longer. Well, y'all, I'm going to tell you how some of this stuff works. When you have a person that commits a felony or does something against the law and they get jail time, they have to be able to pay you back that restitution. And every to pay back restitution, you have to have some type of employment, some type of paycheck coming in. So what happens is some of these companies will outsource some of the work, if not all of it, to prisons. Prisoners work and get basically slave rates. These prisoners work for next to nothing. And during that next to nothing, they have to pay restitution out of that. Because you wonder, if you think about it, if you're in jail and you have a job and you're making some type of money, why'd you have to have people put stuff on your books to get commissary? That's because these people in the prisons are making lower than minimum wage. Out of that money, you have to pay restitution. So what that means is that the companies that are using that labor are basically paying nothing to get it. You ask where the money might go? Well, that's when you look at it, look deeper. The prisons and the jobs are using some type of format to move that money around. Somebody's getting paid because ain't the prisoners. Then the thing that really gets me is when the person gets out of jail and they go into the halfway house, they still got to pay restitution. They have to get a job. They go to a job, they get the job, and as long as they're on time and continue to show up for work, a lot of them don't get fired if they have little mishaps on the job or can't do the job right or don't read the diagram right. And I'm going to tell you why. Have you ever noticed that when you go to get employment, they'll have a certain type of questionnaire to ask you if you get any type of government assistance, if you're a felon or anything like that? It's a reason behind that questioning. See, now y'all think that it's being nosy being your business. That's not what it is. Do you know that every employer gets a subsidy for a certain amount of welfare recipients they have hired, a certain amount of felons they have hired? See, the government gives money to these companies that will hire you and keep you on. So if you're working with someone and you know that they've had some mishaps in government or mishaps with the law and they've continuously messing up at their job, but you're like, why ain't they firing them? They get paid to have that employee work there with you. The employer's making money. So it is a job monopoly. Regardless of what is going on with the employment in a prison, with the employment at your job, if there's a certain person that feels that need, they get the job. But it's also extra kickback if that person happens to be an ex-convict or a person that is receiving something from the state. Just like affirmative action. They put the rule in place to hire so many of each ethnic group, and you couldn't just cap out on one type of set of persons. You had to have it be more spread across the board, if you will. Had to have more of a melting pot at your job. But the thing that kills us on that is we're so busy focusing on they're taking the jobs to China or they're taking the jobs to Mexico, when half the time those jobs aren't even going there. They might tell you that, but then some of that labor is being placed into the prison or some of that labor is just being cut short. And that is part of what the media does to keep us at each other's necks. It's to keep us going at it with other people, other persons that are not like us or not from here. And it keeps us, you can better control someone if you can control their way of thinking. So while all y'all here sometimes getting upset and getting mad about where you think the employment's going, please start doing your research. Ask yourself why in prison they pay them people dollars or pennies on the dollar and have them still pay restitution. They're not making any money, but the labor is getting done. And a company is not paying somebody $15 an hour to do it. Why? When I can get 5 employees for that same price. And then guess what? They're going to do the work because they're made to do the work. They're locked up. They have nowhere else to go. Why would I hire someone I got to pay $15 an hour to and that is just basically out here living when I can find somebody that is on some type of assistance that needs a job and pay them $15 an hour and I can get paid back for doing that? So basically you're paying me to hire someone. That's the type of situation we're in, people. So we got to start being more rational with the way we think and stop always judging someone else and thinking that we know everything about what's going on with the government behind our backs if we're not paying attention to the situation ourselves. When a person gets locked up and has to pay restitution, now think about this. Where are they going to get the money from? There is not one single job the penitentiary can give you or a or a jailing institution can give you inside the jail to pay you enough to pay restitution. They have guards that have to guard the facility. They can bring in cooks. They do have some prisoners cook, but those are special privileges you get. So you really ain't got to pay for that. Upkeep of the yard and stuff, you can bring in a lawn care service to do that. So if you think about it, just logical thinking, the maintenance and maintaining of the jail facility is being done for free by the people that live in the jail facility or bringing services in. With that being said, how are you going to get prisoners to pay restitution? You got to bring in jobs. You got to outsource and bring in jobs. That's when doing metal work or doing field work or doing some type of woodwork. That's why a lot of them, a lot of them do a lot of field work. Back in the day, they would clear roads for railways and just roads for people to be able to travel back and forth. Because you can pay them that, outsource that work to them because it is considered government work. And we didn't have to pay a lot to get it done. They can have someone who is serving time, who has to pay restitution, do the work. And then as a reward, we can pay them pennies on the dollar, which they can use to pay commissary, or they can start paying their restitution. Now, I don't know how y'all think about that, but that takes away jobs from the people that are out here that needs a job. But we don't see it that way because we're too busy arguing and bickering over the jobs that are being taken away, supposedly to go to Mexico, to go to overseas, and those jobs we get upset and angry about. When the whole time there's still enough jobs here, but they're being resourced out to prisons, to jails. Some of the positions are being filled by people who are on low-income housing and get medical cards and get food stamps and checks and stuff like that because there is a small little allowance that's given out if you hire someone that meets those qualifications. Now, I will say this. I'm not upset about that. Don't come in my timeline or come in my feed on you. No, I'm not angry about that at all whatsoever. Hey, to each his own. But all I'm saying is, before we start to get mad at something being moved out of the country, think about what's actually going on. We got to make sure that we know the whole story before we jump out on a limb. Know the entire story about what's really going on. Now, be it all for me to say that, I don't know everything, but I'm sorry, when you're in a facility for doing something wrong, you should not have the privilege to take something from someone else. That's how half of you got there in the first place. I do believe that if you're locked up, you should have to earn your way back to freedom if you are guilty for what you did. So as far as some of the jobs that have been outsourced to prisons, some people should not be allowed that privilege. If you did something horrible and you are supposed to be locked up, jail should not be a vacation. It should not be a way if you go there and you make a better person of yourself and get out, I applaud it. But I will not pay taxes for you to go and live in some type of luxury after you have taken someone's life, after you've taken something from someone, or after you've abused the privileges of just simply being a good human. So we've got to make sure that we are being aware of what's really going on. We all have people at the job that we know, that we work with, that you don't know why they're not fired. You don't know why they're still there. They're messing up the job. It's deeper than what you think. maybe it behooves all of us, but maybe the person that is doing that job that's messing up is beneficial to the bottom line of the company, beneficial to the company's pocket. So when y'all working these jobs, man, understand something. You're as important as, how I say it, you're as important as much money as you could put in the company's pocket. That's right. A person that's been here for 30 years, who helps make a product, who gets paid a good wage, is not as important as a person who might have just been there for 4 months, who's on medical or something, and they sign that paper at the beginning of the year, that waiver. And what happens is they get a little extra kickback for hiring that person. You don't want to hear this, but y'all on the same level. And in some places, they'll fire you before they fire them. So just make sure that you ain't on deck next, boss. Because that will happen to you. They will smack you up. Just keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you do your job right. And yes, I do see that, KP. Yes, prisoners have always been used as slave labor. I got you. Understand that. But that's the thing, is like a lot of jobs are being taken out of the workforce and passed along to the prisons, and the job source itself keeps money in its pocket. Because think of it, economics. I was told that the rich stay rich by never going broke. Sounds kind of weird, but rich never give away money. If I can get cheap labor and get the same product pushed out and get the same amount of labor effort, why would I pay more? Nobody's gonna know a difference. I can tell you that I don't need you to come work for me because I got someone else to do it, because I know that if I pay you $15 an hour, I got to pay you $15 an hour. But with the other labor, I don't have to pay them anything. Pay them next to nothing. That's just like, it's crazy, because let's keep 100% real. It's almost like a temporary job service. If I don't have enough employees to pay, I can go to you. And I know this because I used to have a temp job service. I would go in and bid on jobs, and I would outbid other people. They're like, you know what? I tell you what, you pay me $20, you pay me $20 an employee. I pay my employees $10 a piece, and I'm able to pocket the rest. Now, as far as taxes, they're gonna pay them on their own. So if I see you 10 employees, 10 to 15 employees, you paying $20 a pop, you do the math. Every employee that I send you, I'm making $10 off of. So I'm making $100 an hour off of 10 employees. An 8-hour day, I made $800. They still got paid, but I'm making money off them employees. That's how it works. It's a job monopoly. Y'all, get it together out here. Be paying attention to what's really going on. Okay, before I start my second subject, y'all, you know I'm about working out, trying to stay in shape. Well, when I need a boost of electrolytes or some BCAAs, I use Extend. Extend, you can get at your local GNC. You can even get at Walmart if you choose to, but always go to Advanced Nutrition here in Cabot, Arkansas to get it. Man, it's packed with electrolytes, 7 grams of BCAAs in every scoop. 1 scoop will do you at a time. I usually take 2 scoops a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Also has electrolytes to keep you going, to keep you hydrated. Let's get it going. Whenever you're ready to get your boost up after a good workout, or just get you some energy through the day, you've been out in that yard all day, take your scoop of Extends. I'm telling you right now, it's going to do what it do. Yo, it's burned up in here. My second subject, you're going to love this. My second subject is about a living cartoon character. My second subject is about the Stephen A. Smith epidemic. Y'all, if y'all ever watch First Take, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I've never seen a more pompous, saturated, me, I did this type of dude in my life. Now, this is a subject I didn't want to hit on, but I had to after all this Caitlin Clark stuff going on. Now, as you know, Stephen A. got into a Monica McNutt on this show, First Take, and I haven't seen Monica since then. Let's keep it real. And he went on his podcast afterwards to light Monica up. What got me upset about Stephen A. Smith is Monica made a statement that made sense. She said that before Caitlin Clark got into the WNBA, nobody ever talked about the league. They're having problems financially. They're having problems with publication. They're having problems with just people putting them on TV watching the games. So they needed something. They needed a boost. They needed a Steph Curry. They needed a LeBron James. Well, enter Caitlin Clark. She broke all the college scoring records. She's a three-point phenomenon. And let's keep it 100% real. You're going to get mad for something, but she's the next great hope. And y'all didn't put the first word in it because y'all knew exactly what I was talking about. She's the great hope. Well, Monica McNutt got on Stephen A. and she told him his platform has been available for years. And if you watch anything on ESPN, Stephen A. Smith is everywhere. They call him Stephen A. Smith. He's Mr. Basketball. He knows about football. He's big into pop culture, all that. And he's someone that, let's keep it 100% real. If he steps into a room, you notice him. Now, although he ain't got no basketball game in his jumper flat, how you average 1.1? Come, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Average 1.5 points a game. I don't know how that happens. I mean, it is what it is. But the man is who he is. He's Stephen A. Smith. He's a celebrity. He's a personality. Now, to me, he's a walking, living cartoon character because he's full of himself. Monica McNutt checked him, and his reaction was irritating. On the show, he tried to walk it back and say something about how, oh, that was unfair for her to say that. Because he's always, no, you have not always covered the women's league, brother. You are riding a jockstrap of somebody that don't have a jockstrap. You are one of the biggest problems with sports media today. You're a big problem with ESPN. I get tired of seeing you with your legalized harem. Yeah, I said it. Molly Quorum, who's a female clown to me after the situation with Jalen Rose. And yes, Stephen, you had something to do with that too. Then you have, what's her name? Oh my God. Kimberly Martin. Oh my God. Anytime Stephen A. talks to her, she gets the pouty lip, licking the lips, smiling. Monica McNutt did something none of these women ever did. She spoke up to Stephen A. and checked him. And he got an attitude about it. Now, let's keep 100% real. He's one of the main ones leading for this stop fouling Caitlin so hard agenda. Well, my brother, have you been watching the league? For the last 4 or 5 years, this league has had women getting clothesline, women slap boxing, women backhanding each other, rough fouls where someone almost broke their neck. This is not something that's been going, this is something that just didn't happen. This has been going on in the league. These ain't college girls playing for tuition. These are grown women playing to feed their families. These ain't no kids. These grown folks. And for you to sit up there and push this agenda like we need to change the sport. Where was you at 2 or 3 years ago when they should have been changing the sport? Monica McNutt was right. Where was you at 2 or 3 years ago when the sport was having a downfall and they couldn't bring the revenue in? Where was you at 2 or 3 years ago when the other young ladies was coming in the sport that was changing the game up? It's like you are paid to say some of the dumbest stuff on TV. He won't see this because I'm a nobody. And if he does see, they'll probably talk about, how people, I'm tired of people. Man, if I hear one more, now you know I love that brother with all my heart. We used to chill together. Now, I've been knowing him for 75 years and I love him, but you wrong. Man, shut up. You're a cartoon. You're a gimmick. All you do is yell. Anybody real that contests to you, put them off the show. I'm not a Skip Bayless fan. But you and Skip didn't get along. Oh, I'm crazy about Max Kellerman. But ever since Terrell Owens got on there and said Max was blacker than you threw a fit and Max had a downfall. Shannon better watch his back because unbeknownst to you, Stephen A., well, you probably do know it. That's why you paid him to keep him on ESPN. Shannon's podcast is hot right now. It's better than anything you producing. His podcast is hot. You threw a little monkey wrench in that plan too. You threw a fit about that. Well, Shannon's not a journalist, so he didn't ask the questions I would have asked. He ain't supposed to, you idiot. It's his show. He doing what he do. He's sitting down talking and letting them get what's getting out. You mad because you done come with the idea. Your show, you sit by yourself and you talk like I'm talking to the fans and the people. This is what you do too as well. You can have guests on your show. You choose not to. Y'all, I saw the man, Corey Holcomb. I love Corey Holcomb, y'all. If y'all ever, man, right now, shout out to my boy Corey Holcomb, bro. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. This brother got a nice little podcast. He be clowning, but he keeps it 100% real. All his takes ain't always accurate, but the dude funny and he keep you informed and keep you want to tune in. He clowned Stephen A. He showed one scene where Stephen A. walked in with a purple suit looking like Grimace or Barney. I love you, you love me. Walking to an NBA game. Look like a straight fool. The man walks in, y'all, and he walks with this higher than mighty walk about himself. You know what I'm talking about? Like that brother that's, all y'all know about him. The brother that's out in the club, that he the weed man, the dope man, or he a pimp. All the girls love him. All the dudes want to be like him. He walks into the club and he walks and everybody like, hey, they might even stop the music. Hey, look who walked into the club. You know what I'm saying? And the brother got a little walk on himself, a little limp, stop and dap everybody up. That's how Stephen A. walk into the games. Brother, you ain't all that. I'm sorry. Oh, you just jealous because man, I ain't worried about that. I won't get to that level. I'm a common man. And that's the problem. I'm able to say what I want to say. This is my podcast. This brother always claiming he down for the brothers and then do something stupid in the backhand. Remember how he clowned Kyrie for not wanting to take that shot? Nobody else didn't take the shot. Clown Kyrie for not taking his shot. Clowned him. But he wouldn't clown Aaron Rodgers for lying about taking the shot. Yeah, I remember that. I know y'all remember that. He downplayed that so bad. Jason Williams went at him about it. Oh, let's not get on the Cowboys. Now, I'm not going to lie. I laugh because it's funny to me half the time. But you dissing the Cowboys, but you a Knicks fan. The Knicks ain't won that in 20, 30 years neither. How about that? How that tastes? But you want to clown Cowboy fans every chance you get. You are just like a Cowboy fan. You delusional every time the Knicks get to win. This our year. But then you'll come on football season and clown the Cowboys about them saying, this our year. You do the same identical thing. Y'all, we sit and watch this clown talk about sports all day long. He criticizes everybody. He called Kwame Brown a scrub forever. Well, I don't know too many scrubs I know got a championship ring. How many scrubs you know that stayed in the league for over 10 years? This man's a joke to me. He hypes up the unhypeable, and this is the real. So next time y'all watch First Take, watch out for the animation. Then he always talk like he got a mouthful of slobber. At 1 minute, one moment, he'll spit somewhere. And that hairline, I think I better let it go. Boom, 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 boom. Looks like another hair TKO. You need to be out headbutting brick walls or bags of flour or something and leave everybody else alone with this sport thing, brother. Then he want to get on Diddy. He mad because he didn't go to a party. Or did he? Get it? Y'all, my last subject of the day is going to be about the disrespect of Father's Day. Now, if I got any mothers out here listening, kudos to you. I got much respect for you and I love you. But you might want to tune out. Because I'm about to go down. It's about to go in, y'all. I was cool with everything until I seen this little post on Facebook, and it was funny. It was hilarious. There was a post that said, Fathers Eat Free, June 16, 2024. It was a Chick-fil-A ad. Y'all know Chick-fil-A closed on Sundays. Womp, womp, womp. But that's the type of respect we get on Father's Day. All year long when the kids go to school, they hype up Mother's Day. When you was a little kid, you remember they would take the picture of you or have you stand next to this little thing and they would draw the outline and then you would take home this little white piece of paper with your black outline on it for Mother's Day. When you go to school, they start preparing for Mother's Day the first day of school. They hype it up. They make commercials for Mother's Day for flowers and stuff. Mother's Day is a big thing. Not Father's Day. Fathers are so underappreciated. We are so disrespected. Y'all, every holiday that's out here is mostly made for women. Valentine's Day, women. Easter, it's supposed to be about the Savior and things, but when you go out to get Easter stuff, I don't see no man get no bunch of pink and purple stuff like that. That's more women things. Mother's Day, Christmas. Some of these holidays are supposed to be special days. Anniversary, mostly for women, because these are things that you share as a couple. But the media and stuff patterns most of this stuff towards women. On anniversaries, you see the K's commercial. Every kiss begins with K. You see these commercials, and it's always a man giving a woman a ring or something. Happy anniversary, dear. Mother's Day, you take your mom out to eat. You get her flowers. You do special things for her. The kids do it. Their dad do it. Other mothers do it. Even at church, they have big ceremonies for the mothers. The mothers of the church. Father's Day, yo, we got to get out there and mow the yard. Father's Day, we got to get out there and light the grill up. We got to cook our own meal. Could you imagine having a woman cook her own meal on Mother's Day? Y'all, it'll be some fighting going on in the city. Father's Day, you got to cut the yard. You might have to wash the car. You got to grill the meal. And half the time, you don't get no gift. You might get a card. Depending on how good your kids love you, you might get a call if they don't live near you. Mother's Day, a mother could be a mom, you can have the world's worst mom. But guess what Mother's Day come? I love you, Mom. Gifts and all. Dad, you can walk on angel wings and red rose petals. You can have butter in your mouth when you talk to your children. You can lay beds of flowers down and clouds of joy and unicorns and rainbows and just treat your kids like they're everything. And guess what you get on Father's Day? Here your card, Dad. You get a tie that you don't match nothing in your closet. They order pizza. Well, you know what? Wait, I forgot. You might get a lawnmower, some tools. See, Father's Day, they don't get you gifts that let you know you're important. They get you gifts of stuff that they might need you to do around the house. Some tools, a lawnmower, a weed eater, a new grill to get rid of the grill you just barbecued your own Father's Day meal on. So, yes, that was the administrator. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm sweating too much on camera. Forgive me, y'all. It's my Father's Day glow. This year, y'all, for Father's Day, I'm going out of town. I'm leaving first thing in the morning. I'm going to see my papa. I'm going to spend Father's Day with my dad. I'm going to spend Father's Day with him. I'm going to get him an actual real gift and have a meal with him. I brought this Father's Day subject up because, in all sincerity, all joking aside, no more laughing. Y'all, when you have a good father, no matter what you've been through in life, you have a good father, appreciate him. It's a lot of kids out here that don't have a good father. There's a lot of wives that don't have a good husband. And I've never experienced that. So if you have someone that is close to you, that has always treated you better than you ever thought you could be treated, who's always loved you, who's always been the breadwinner for you, who's always sit there and did what he had to do the right way, appreciate them on Father's Day. Show them some love. And don't take much for us men. We're very simple creatures. We love food, money, and sports, and a couple other things, but I won't go there with that. But appreciate your parent. Because these men, including myself, some of us go out here in this world every day and we deal with hostile situations and conditions at jobs. People disrespect us and talk to us any kind of way in the streets. So when you come home, that is your safe haven. That's a place that you should be safe at and should feel loved at. That's a place where emotionally you should be able to let yourself and unleash yourself. You just better speak freely and get things off your chest. Because the world is not always your best friend. Sometimes you have to carry the world on your shoulders for your family. You have to be that one support system when everybody's not feeling the best. Like I said, didn't say mothers didn't do that. But that's the issue I'm talking about right now. I shouldn't have to say that because it's Father's Day coming up. So anybody that is invested in fathers should understand I should never have to say it ain't about mothers. No, you should already know it's about fathers. And for all y'all single moms out there, stop hating on these dads. Putting up posts on Father's Day. Yeah, well, I'm the happy father to me, tell them the father. We don't do it on Mother's Day. I was a single parent raising my kids some of the time. I never one time put a post up and say I deserve a happy Mother's Day. I would never disrespect their mother or any woman that's been through what she's been through to have them kids. That's disrespectful to do so. So if y'all single mothers, have enough respect for good men. Even if the guy you mess with at the time wasn't the best, that don't mean all men are bad. You have a father too. Be respectful. Be respectful. And let these men have their day. Don't be arguing with them. Don't be bickering with them. Let them have their day. Even if it's just one day. I don't care if you cuss them out the day after. But for one day, appreciate them and let them know they are appreciated. Because it is a day for good fathers. Y'all, with that being said, I'm gonna send some shout outs real quick. A shout out to my cousin Coco Rocket, steady dropping them plates off up there, y'all, in the Quad Cities. Y'all better get up on it. She's not playing. My boy Justin Tacos, he's located up there in Rock Island, Moline, moving that truck around for y'all to get them, Justin Tacos. Hey, get them while they hot. Also a shout out to the artist, Untitled, putting that music down. Theme songs galore. I want to thank them. Also, a little side note. I don't know if I told you, but I'm going back into wrestling training. So that's something I've been doing. I did it before. Didn't last long as I had some problems going on, y'all, but now everything's stable. So I'm going to do that again. Thank you for the applause. Thank you. I talked to my trainer. I think I have a plan this time for something important. So I want to thank Chili, my cousin Little Charles Thomas. I want to thank my son Untitled and my nephew Day Day Spokes for the theme song they wrote for me 2 years ago. I never got to use. So I'm actually going to be able to put that into work. I want to thank them for that. It's just like a premonition. It's like speaking things into the air. It was affirmation, and I was coming to pass. I want to thank them for that. Also, man, thank everybody there who followed me. Like I said before I leave all the time, I thank you guys. I'm nothing without you. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your follows, your views. You guys are special to me. And I couldn't do this without you. Not one bit of it. So I want to thank y'all. Love you guys, man. Y'all, please stay tuned in. I got some important stuff coming up. Books on the way out. Just all this is because of you, y'all. And I know this, and I'm grateful for it. With that being said, hey, I never spill the tea. I keep a kettle that bubbles over so I can take the last sip.
Regardless of all the pain and the stress, yeah. Say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest. Regardless of all the pain and the stress, yeah. Say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest. Regardless of all the pain and the stress, yeah. Say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. I'll never rest. Regardless of all the pain and the stress, yeah. I'll say it with my chest, I was destined to be the best. Yes.